Hey everyone, it is me, Dana Williamson with Blessed Anointed and Destined LLC, BAD LLC. I am obviously always excited to be with all of you each and every time I'm able to do this recording. Welcome. I don't see any names, I just see numbers, so welcome. God bless you. I wanted to come in today because one, I missed yesterday and I'm still trying to be consistent. We're doing these recordings, but I wanted to come in today and basically say to you or help you to understand when you're misunderstood, or not when you're misunderstood, but just in general when you know you're trying so hard and you can't get people to understand who you are. I want you to know that no matter what, as long as you share the truth and as long as you give people exactly what God says to give to them, you have to walk away with your head held high. And I'm not saying be prideful. I'm saying you have to walk away knowing you gave the truth, knowing you gave an understanding that is totally beyond where you might be right now. I am not saying to you that you'll always be misunderstood or you'll always be challenged in everything that you say and do. What I'm saying to you today is, you know what? Who cares? Who cares? And that sounds funny, doesn't it? Let me give you an example, and I'm really I'm being transparent. I am misunderstood, and a friend of mine used to tell me for years, you know what, Dana, you're misunderstood, and I see why people misunderstand you, but when they just take a chance to get to know you, then they'll really realize where you're coming from. And, I always felt so grateful for her words and her honesty. But now I know why I'm so misunderstood. Because when I look at people that call themselves men and women of God, and people that call themselves, and welcome to all of you that are watching, when I look at people that call themselves leaders, even sometimes, or just people that should know, or doers, you know what? Let me just use this as an example. Here, our Bible, okay? Those people that read this word right here, go to church on Sunday, go to all the conferences, go all the Bible studies and all of that kind of stuff. They go to everything, okay? But they don't understand the relationship side of the study. They don't understand that if you don't study, you can't really get that relationship. You can't get close. You can't get, you're just walking along and hopefully things will fall into place as you think that they should. And for me, I don't believe that. I mean, I have to read this word right here. I have to read this word. I have to pray. I have to fast. I have to be teachable. So even as Apostle Dana or Minister Dana or Pastor Dana or however, I still have to be teachable. So I still have to be a student. And that is the one thing that I don't think people understand is that, you have to still be able to be taught. You have to still be able to say, you know what, let me sit down and listen, or you know what, and when I share something, I'm sharing for the benefit of other people, not to degrade them, to downgrade what they think or what they've been taught over time. But you know what? Nothing trumps this. Nothing trumps the Bible. I don't care what anybody can say. You know what, y'all atheists and those of you who don't really like King James Version, that's fine too. But in all my understanding, nothing trumps that Bible. Nothing trumps what God says to me individually for me. And with my misunderstandings and the misconceptions that people have around me, I'm good with that. And let me tell you why I'm good with that. Because as long as people want to misunderstand you because of the truth, you owe them nothing more than that. My aunt always tells me I owe no one an explanation about nothing. My other aunt always tells me to tell people to kick rocks. And the troublesome part about both of those things is that you want people to understand who God is. You want people to hear God in you. But when you're misunderstood, from just walking in the room, what do? And then when you want the people that you need to tell to kick rocks is your family, what do? Well, I can't tell them to kick rocks. And because they are my family, they're going to always be my family no matter what. I mean, we could never talk again, but they're still going to be my family. So I can't really tell them to kick rocks. The other part is when I want people to see God, when I want people to hear what God is saying, It's not my fault if you see me and you already have a wall up because you see me. You should know. I would never do anyone any wrong on purpose. Never. If I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. I don't lie. I don't cheat. I don't do things that would send me to hell on a technicality. So when people look at a person like me who doesn't want to go to hell on a technicality, there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong because you know what? We all are not infallible. Okay, so we all have our issues, but I'm misunderstood because I'm the one that doesn't want to go to. I'm worried about hell. You understand me? I'm worried about hell. I'm worried about going to hell. I'm not worried about what's happening right now. I'm not worried about if the sky will fall. I'm not worried about if a tornado is going to come. I'm not worried about an earthquake. I'm worried about going to hell. I am worried about, with everything that God has called me to do, that if I have not done it, I am worried about meeting the Lord, and I haven't done that. Everyone else, I misunderstood because of those things. I wanted to share with you on tonight. If you're misunderstood for some of those same things, if you're misunderstood for some of those same misconceptions, if you're misunderstood because people don't understand how you walk the narrow path and sometimes you're on that path, it's just you and Jesus, let yourself be misunderstood. Let them misunderstand you. Who cares? Who cares? Because you know what? And I'm talking to the ladies. As bad queens of the round table, there are some things you're going to do alone. You're not going to have 12 other queens around you. You're not going to have a full team of people. You know what? You may not have your husband. You may not have your children. I've been there, done that. But either way, you still have to know and do what God has intended for you to do. And I know you probably all are saying, you know what? This is a repetitive story that you share with us, Dana. This is something that you share with us all the time. What God says and what God says, because that's it. Doesn't matter about anything else. Doesn't matter about how people think and how people feel. Because you know what? One thing I've learned, and I feel bad from time to time, but one thing I've learned is I try to keep my emotions out of it. And if I can't keep my emotions out of it, then I'm severely having some issues. Personal issues. I'm gonna have a problem. And then I pull myself together and I say, I'm not going to hell on a technicality. I'm going to continue to share the truth. I'm going to continue to accept being misunderstood. Jesus wasn't accepted. In his circle, he had somebody betray him. I said today on Facebook, I said, I'm not ready to swim with the sharks because I'm still walking with snakes. Do you know what it's like to walk with snakes? Let me give you one more piece of insight and then I'm done, because I come here to help the ladies to realize that you are who God says you are, because one, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. You are an Esther. You are a Ruth. You are Moses' mother. You are the woman who took care of Moses. You are Deborah. You are Mother Mary. You are all of those women that have gone through trials and triumphs. You are those people. You are challenged. You are misunderstood for what God has told you to do. You are. But let me say this to you, bad queens of the round table, and I'm done. Allow those people to walk in that misunderstanding, because as long as you said what you've said, when they finally open up their ears, their inner ears, and realize what you have shared with them and who you are and why you're even in their lives, then they'll know you meant them no harm. You meant them no wrong. You were just misunderstood. And now that they understand, they'll share that. They may never come to you and say, now I understand, but that's okay. Just let them go on. Let them be blessed. And you do it as well. Why? Because one, you're a bad queen of the round table. Matter of fact, one and only. Bad queen of the round table. Remember that. Blessed, anointed, and destined queen of the round table. Hey, I'm Dana Williamson. God bless you. I thank you so much for being here. I thank you for all of you that watched. I thank you for all of you that are watching the replay. I thank you for who you are and the fact that you'll share this. And even though I didn't get one heart, I know I love you. God bless.